Next, you have the King of Wands in reverse. And if you are a Pisces rising, this would be in your 6th house, which is a Virgo ruled house, dealing with work, service, and health. And for you, this would be in Leo, which deals with fun and the things that we're most passionate about, the things that we love, deals with strength, confidence, integrity, expression. So here, for you, there's sort of this unwavering idea of you coming into a place of power, a place of having everything that you need, a place of strength. And this is sort of a challenging aspect going along with this strength card here. This idea that maybe because you have everything that you need physically, but maybe you feel unwavering on this sort of spiritual, emotional, intuitive level. And here, this goes along with this whole theme of sort of balancing these two parts of yourself. Because Pisces is a very deep, emotional, spiritual, intuitive sort of sign, very sensitive and aware and dreamy, sort of consciously aware of things on a different sort of level than the average human being. So here, there's this idea of you have to sort of accept your personal power. You have to sort of make it known. And again, this still goes along with this whole idea of externalizing. Because you, Pisces, have this internal power very similar to Cancer and especially Scorpio. This sort of power within yourself, this intuition, this sort of ability to see things on a level of awareness that most would not be able to. Sort of this hidden awareness, this subconscious level of awareness. And for you, this is all about tapping into that personal power, about tapping into that power within yourself, which for you, this is something that you normally do. Normally, you are sort of seeing things on this sort of dreamy, intuitive level, but it's a matter of pulling that energy outside of yourself and sort of expressing it. It's time to kind of step into this power, into this unknown force within and sort of bring it out, to externalize yourself. And this sort of expression is big when it comes to helping to guide or even lead or teach others on this path. As a lot of people all over the world, right, are awakening during this time. This is a huge shift that we are going through as we're moving into 2019, this number 3 year about new beginnings, and this whole North Node in Cancer, South Node in Capricorn, this idea of letting go of old beliefs, old systems, old thought processes, old feelings, in order to sort of bring us into this point of unity and compassion and trust and nurturing and caring and understanding, sort of bringing us to this new level of clarity, this new awakening that we are going through that sort of started in 2012 and it's continuing to move us into 2020 to this point of full awakening. And for a lot of us who are already awakened, especially you Pisces, on this very deep emotional, intuitive level that you are on, you're sort of here to help teach and guide others. But that sort of includes bringing up this personal power that's deeply hidden within you. A lot of times Pisces has this tendency, again, to sort of go within. And this is about bringing that outside of yourself. And next, you have the Five of Cups. And this is sort of getting to this place of sort of stripping you emotionally, where you sort of get to this place where it's like, am I good enough? Do I have enough? This is sort of, again, going back to this release, this change, this sort of letting go of old emotional attachments. Even here, these old thoughts, these old beliefs, sort of letting go of these things and sort of seeing things clearly. So here you might get to a point where you might even feel like you're at a loss. And this is sort of to remind you, and this is getting towards mid-January here on your journey, this is sort of here to remind you that this is not a loss. It's a death on a level of, okay, I need to let go of some old wounds, some old belief systems that no longer serve me, some old thinking processes that are not going to help me move forward, that don't serve me on this path. So with this, you really have to stay positive. You have to not let your emotions rule you again. You have to sort of, work through this process and just keep persevering. Again, going back, this takes strength. And even the strength of a friend is great to have on this journey too. As this is a huge awakening, this is a huge process going on within yourself as you are sort of balancing who you are, not just spiritually but physically. So sort of bringing those two parts of yourself together on this path. And some of you are going to say that for you this is a physical journey that you're on, that you relate more physically. So then balance in that spiritual aspect as well then. Sort of bringing whatever part of you that you are not familiar with, that you're not comfortable, that you're not used to being a part of, sort of bringing that side of you out during this process. Externalizing who you are on this infinite level that will help you grow and expand in who you are. As this is natural for you with Pisces being a Jupiterian ruled sign. This is this natural place for you of growth and staying positive and sort of getting through this process so that you can expand on who you are and sort of grow in your wisdom and grow in this level of awareness, bringing these two parts of yourself together. And this is very similar to sort of this Gemini aspect of sort of looking at two halves of yourself. Now, with Gemini, it was sort of dealing with the difference between sort of the real version of yourself and this version of yourself that's sort of serving others. With you, Pisces, it's sort of dealing with this internal level of you and this external level, and sort of balancing them out so that they are the same. So sort of the same sort of thing, but this is more on a deeper emotional level for you. And moving forward, something that you see immediately coming out of this process is definitely some good fortune. Definitely something good, something that serves you. This fresh new start, this idea that you have so many infinite possibilities, so many blessings, so many guardians and angels watching over you during this time, sort of help guide you in this direction. So definitely a successful time for you, as long as you can sort of get through this process. And something that automatically comes up is looking at this spread is that, in this first half of January, this is sort of where the challenge comes in. When we get into the second half, there's a lot of good things that are coming from sort of going down this road, going through this process. So keep that in mind as you are on this journey, that all of this in the first half is leading up to something good. And that's really what this card is about. And for those of you who are Pisces rising, this is in your 7th house. This is a Libra ruled house. And this is also going into your 8th house. So this is really dealing with these deeper levels of partnership for you. This is definitely dealing with these levels of intimacy. This is dealing with a partner that that you can trust, a partner that you sort of are giving all your secrets to. With this sort of transition from 7th to 8th house. And for you, I would say that this is finding success in, again, externalizing yourself and sort of solidifying this partnership. Because again, this whole theme of sort of getting away from this emotional state and moving into a physical state and finding the balance between the two is there. And this is huge when we're looking at partnership. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. This could be, a close partnership with a friend, with a family member, but this is sort of getting to this point of success by sort of opening up and externalizing and sort of moving this energy outside of yourself at this point. And moving forward, as we're sort of transitioning into this 9th house, which is a Sagittarian ruled house, this is sort of this adventure, this journey, this expansion, this growth that you were going through. And this is sort of showing that you are going to get to this point where you are building your empire. You are building this successful dream that you have dreamt. And this is why it's so important to add in that physical aspect to this, is because you, Pisces, are a dreamer. Now, bringing this sort of Virgo physical energy into the picture is bringing this practical, this hardworking sort of setup where you're starting to actually start to build these dreams. Because again, the intention, the dream, everything behind it is great. But when you put this into physical action, This is where you start to see these big results. And this is your moment to shine as you are moving into 2019. This quest, this conquest to sort of build this big dream, this envisionment that you were having. And even moving forward, you get to this point where you are building, you are succeeding, you are building this big dream. Now, if we go back to this 8th house, this Scorpio ruled house, dealing with secrets and hidden things and partnerships, right? This idea of sort of gathering close friends, gathering a close partner, someone who you can trust. This sort of comes into play here too, as this is sort of asking you to also be cautious to protect and defend what you hold dearest to you. So this idea of keeping this to someone close who you can trust is also big as you are moving forward. And you will start to see some big results coming into play as you're moving forward as well, as this is huge. This is your 10th house. This is where your midheaven sort of starts out with your 10th house here. This transition from your 9th to your 10th, this midheaven on the cusp of your 10th, Capricorn ruled this place of success, this place of achievement, this place of high status, this high place that you reach is sort of dealing with this idea of, you know, you got to this place of success, you got to this place of good fortune, and you did the work. You are working, you're building your empire, and sort of defending this honor, this empire that you yourself believe in, that you love, that you are passionate about, that is most important to you and who you are. So this idea that you have sort of come to this point, 2019, where these big Piscean dreams are coming into fulfillment, are coming into this level of physical, tangible results. And moving forward, you have the Fool card, which is reminding you to not forget to enjoy life, to not forget to experience. And again, if you think about it, this goes back to this idea of externalizing too, this idea of the physical experience. Because again, a lot of times Pisces is this spiritual, emotional, intuitive based sign. So a lot of it is about going inward, and it sort of takes us away from this physical experience, right? So this is sort of reminding you to just enjoy this physical experience, especially with this big success, this big opportunity that has opened up for you, this idea that you've accomplished. Celebrate, enjoy this. And this is in your 11th house, so enjoying this time with friends, enjoying this time with people who have sort of helped you get to this point on your journey. And lastly, you have the Ace of Cups. And for those of you who are Pisces rising, this is in your 12th house, which the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, your sign. It is something that you are very familiar with. It's definitely an internalized place. It is sort of where your subconscious and your unconscious awareness lies. It is sort of this place of dreams and illusions. And it's also a place of ending. It's a place of unbinding It's a place where some insecurities may lie. It's a place where it's sort of getting you to that point of, okay, this is the stuff that I need to release so I can move forward. And here, releasing is a huge theme, as you can sort of see. Releasing your doubts, your worries, and keeping the faith. Allowing God and your guides and your angels and whoever's there to sort of help you on this path. Trusting in that, which is also big for Cancer North Node, this theme of trusting. And here it's sort of reminding you to sort of not hold on to any worry, any doubt. Again, sort of getting away from this sort of emotional reaction state of being and just continue to keep the faith. You know, you've gotten to this positive point, you've reached some goals. So this is just reminding you to stay positive, to stay on your path, to just keep going with it. And lastly, we have this card, the extra card, to sort of confirm, to just check in and see how this sort of plays into our message. And as you can see, this is about giving. This is about externalizing. This is about sort of giving this gift of trust and compassion to someone closest, dearest to you. Again, going back to this idea of protecting and defending, keeping the secret. This idea of, I'm going to share this with someone who I trust, someone who I know is there for me. And this is really the whole theme of this, is this experiencing life on this physical realm. This idea of externalizing, of sort of accompanying people in on your journey. People who you trust, people who you know are there for you. And that is your January horoscope. I hope you have enjoyed and have a great day.